Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I want to talk to you about a slightly different topic than normal, but that's the topic of distraction. Because I guess all of us, we have this shiny object syndrome, which, something new comes out that excites us and we chase after it. And it can be in any part of our lives, right? It can be in the personal life, in the professional life, even in investing. I guess all of us went through it at some stage, when we follow one investment strategy, such as dividend investing, for example, then we see the crypto markets going up and everybody chases after that. Then we hit the hype stocks, the meme stocks, then now AI stocks and what have you. And it's always easy to follow the herd, the trend, so to say, and run after the next shiny object. But at the same time, while doing that, you never really stick with something and continue to actually see the benefit, because a lot of things in life have that hockey effect, right? Where it takes a while to ramp up, and once you stick with it, eventually it will compound and you will really see that exponential growth. The same with dividend investing, the same with going to the gym, right? You don't just go, 2 weeks every single day to a gym and see results. You have to do this consistently over time to see the results. So I think a lot of us, myself included, actually struggle with this. And that's why I think it's super important to be very clear and focus on your goals that you set for yourself and stick with them. Now, naturally, these things can evolve along the way, and that's natural. And for myself included, the goals I had maybe 5 years or 10 years ago are very much different to the goals I have these days. And I'm pretty sure they will only continue to change as I go along my journey. And when we speak about focusing, I really love the saying, energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on something, you're going to dedicate yourself towards getting that goal done, right? So that's the whole point of it. As I said, it's about our health as well. And our business the same. If we really commit and stick with it, we're going to dedicate ourselves towards it. But too many people get sidetracked all the time. So it's clear that we live in a world with epic distractions. Everything wants to have our attention. So I think it's very crucial that we have to be clear on whom and what we give our energy to, because we only have so much energy we can give in any given day. And of course, we all only have 24 hours in a day. So you have to be very mindful on what you spend your energy on. If you spend all your energy on becoming the best computer player, well, that might be a choice, but then don't be surprised if you're not doing so well in your business or your career, because obviously you have less energy to give. At the same time with your health goals, right? If you neglect that and don't spend your energy and time focusing and going after those health goals, obviously you're not going to get there and you won't see progress. So I think it goes back to writing down your goals. I think that's very clear, and I've shown you in one of my previous videos where I do my quarterly live review, where I look at all different aspects, my relationship, my health, my financial goals, my career goals, and see how I'm doing. And I think that's super important. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll link to it in the end of this video. But at the same time, also try to remove yourself from as much distractions as possible. And one of the biggest distractions is, of course, social media. And of course, I'm not oblivious to that myself. What I have done, though, what really helped me to significantly reduce my social media time, put all those apps in a separate folder on my phone, and just not having it at 1 click away, but 2 clicks away. Honestly, I can see on my screen time, already I reduced a lot of the time I spend on those platforms. The second distraction is when I really stopped reading news. Now, I'm not completely stopping reading news, but I'm much more selective of the news that I'm reading, much more financial and business related news. And once a day, usually I try to do that during the middle of the day. I read kind of the everyday news from all over the world. I read, German news, Lithuanian news, and, international news. So I'll try to keep informed and have different perspectives on things, but I don't over obsess and refresh my Twitter feed every few seconds or read all the latest gossip magazines. That will just take your mind away of the things you're working on, your focus away, and then you will think about drama and gossip and what have you, rather than on ideas and new business opportunities. The best example recently was when I went on a long run. As you might know, I'm preparing for my first marathon next year, so I'm doing now every weekend half marathon runs. And on one of those, I was listening to an amazing podcast, and it really inspired me. And afterwards, I was, rethinking about all the different things and how I could use some of the knowledge to myself. Because one thing I really want to start work on myself is to take action from ideas. It's very easy to watch a nice YouTube video or listen to an inspiring podcast. You get inspired and you feel like you've done something. Actually, you just consume content. You haven't really done anything with it. So now I'm really trying to force myself to make a note in my Apple Notes or whatever note service you're using and put a few key learnings from that so that you can then really digest it mentally, because only once you digest it and understood it mentally, you can execute it and use it for yourself. And then write a few action points. And even if it's just one idea and action point that you will like and start implementing, that's already amazing and will get you so much further than many other people who just mindlessly listen to episode after episode but never actually take action. Another huge point that I can really recommend you is to switch off all the notifications on your phone and on your watch. I got a watch recently because I like the health aspect of tracking on my fitness and movement goals. So I really love it. But I hate it when people sit in a meeting and all the time their watch keeps on lighting up. Already the phone has so many distractions. I don't need it on my wrist vibrating all the time. So I switched off all the notifications here pretty much all. I mean, I literally have 1 or 2 maybe, but the rest is all switched off, and on my phone as well. And most importantly, email and social media notifications, because honestly, guys, this is just going to distract you every time. If you really are doing some deep work, some creative thinking, recording content, whatever it may be, but real proper work, not mindlessly scrolling through social media or some newspapers, but actually putting in work and creating rather than consuming. If then in the process you have a phone message lighting up, or somebody liked a picture, or somebody wrote a stupid comment on one of your pictures, what have you, happens as well, right? All of a sudden, while you still continue to do your work, your mind is only half now in your work, and the other half of your mind and thoughts are on that particular tweet or what have you. And let's be honest, we anyways check way too much our social media, our phones all the time, constantly. So not having it directly in your face, obviously turn your phone around, but also put it into focus mode. Right now, as I record this video, I should put it into YouTube mode, which basically disables everything. I get no notification anywhere, and I can really focus on recording this video for you. Same I put all my focus modes on when I really have to write or produce something of value. And that's honestly my biggest recommendation. Switch off all these email and social media notifications, and you will see already you'll be much more focused, because even without that, we still have so many distractions. So why would you do that even more? And I think we want to be running our own agenda rather than being run by other people. Now, I know some people who take it even to the extreme, who really want to run their own agenda, and they don't even answer any kind of telephone calls. They only call back when they have time, which, I get it. If you're really doing great things and building big businesses, maybe you can get away with it. Actually, these days, I don't really get many calls, so I try to take them when I have time. But again, you have to really see what works for you. But generally, I really love the thought of being easily found. You want to be found online. I think these days it's important to be found online and have a presence, because that gets credibility. If I do business with a person and I Google the person and I find nothing about them, for me that raises more suspicion than anything else. But at the same time, you don't want to be easily accessible, but make it a bit more difficult that only the people who really want something or have something of value to share with you can actually reach you. Or on the other hand, you get back to them when you have time as per your own schedule, because we all have to run our own schedules and agendas if you want to get things done. Of course, there's so many other hacks out there that you can do to optimize your focus. And if you want me to talk more about this, then let me know below. Happy to do so in the future. But they are most importantly to understand what is your real focus and what you want to achieve, and not to get sidetracked all the while. There's a great book on this topic called The One Thing, which I really recommend you to read, which basically talks about the one thing that you need to accomplish to get you closer to the goal. There's always only one thing, right? There's a lot of other things that might be part of it, but there's one thing in a day that really gets you closer to your goal, and most likely it's not reading the news or scrolling social media. So be very clear, very mindful about it. Try to reduce as many distractions as you can easily do without obviously impacting your life quality. And I genuinely think that will already get you one step closer towards making actual progress towards your goal. In this video, I'm running through my process of how I do my quarterly life reviews. As always, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.